Hey everyone, Christian Bates with Longevity Power, and it's time to make a fantastic raw superfood onion bread. We're going to start with red onions. Yellow and white and other colors are alright, but the more colorful your onion is, the more nutritious it is, as a general rule. Cut your large onions into quarters, and then we'll grate them afterwards. What's going to be awesome about this onion bread is that it's therapeutically dense in minerals, in chlorophyll. It's hypoallergenic. It's low carb, gluten-free. It's great for anyone who is on a strategy, a healing strategy, where you want to have great satiating food and you want therapeutic amounts of minerals and dense nutrition. And you want stuff that is reminiscent of your favorite pastimes, food that gives you nostalgia. You are going to become addicted to this if you make it, by the way. Alright, there's many ways to grate your onion. You can just take a knife and just slice them all. So I have a salad master I'm going to use today. If you have a Cuisinart or some kind of food processor with one of the slicing blades, then just do that. But check this thing out. This is like a food processor without a motor. Alright, 3 big onions chopped up. They don't all have to be perfectly grated. You could have big chunks in here. There's no wrong way to do it. Just have fun. Every onion bread can be slightly different texture and flavor. So our batter will be chia seed and water-based, because it's going to go into the dehydrator and become mostly or partially dehydrated. You could dehydrate this thing for like 6 hours and make a soggy, almost pate-like bread, or you can dehydrate it for over 24 hours and make more of a crispy bread, or somewhere in between. I'm going to cut 1 lemon, peel it. You could juice it as well, but I want a little, a little fiber, a little citrus fiber in our concoction here. Some sourness. We're mimicking sourdough bread with sourness in terms of the flavor. Now you could actually amend this with probiotics, so that in the dehydrator, as it's getting warm, and before it fully dehydrates, the probiotics can eat up some of the little bit of starches that are in the onion, and it will gear your dehydrated food towards slightly fermenting in a really good way. Anytime you have something in dehydrator that's going to take like way more than 24 hours to dehydrate, consider amending it with probiotics just to make sure there's not bad bacteria that are going to be in your final product. Now we'll add about 2 cups of water, 1 cup of chia seeds, white or black, doesn't matter. You can soak these chia seeds ahead of time. I find that it doesn't matter that much for myself. 1 nice cup. And take a half to a whole zucchini or a soft squash, zucchini-like squash. Just chop it up so that the blender can get it all. And a sweet or mildly spicy pepper. If you want a super spicy bread, you can, of course, use any peppers you want. Some salt. We'll do about 1.5 teaspoons of salt plus Shoyu, and this is raw soy sauce. If you don't have this around, just use a little more salt. Use like 2 to 3 teaspoons of salt. But this is going to make it extra addictive. When onions get dehydrated, there's just something magical about them. They're just so, they're like soy sauce. Soy sauce has been made for thousands of years. It's a traditional fermented living probiotic salt solution. So I find it's awesome. Now I'm going to techie up this bread. This is something you could skip, but I want to show you how to make your bread even more therapeutically nutritious. First is to add some amino acids. Now, why would I add amino acids to my bread? Well, you can add amino acids to your smoothies. Amino acids generally don't taste good. You can take amino acids in capsules as well, but I like to just get a bulk lysine, bulk carnitine. Carnitine, I'll explain all three here, and a third is citrulline. These are some of my favorite amino acids. Now these are, well, lysine is definitely occurring in nuts and seeds and pretty much anything with protein. There's lysine. And in your body you have a ratio to look for, and how much arginine you're consuming and how much lysine you're consuming. If you're consuming pretty low in the ratio of lysine and more arginine, you could be not doing your body a service, because a lot of arginine can be fueling a viral load, and lysine is the antidote. Lysine curbs your viral load. That's why for cold sore remedies it's recommended to take lysine or put lysine on a cold sore because of its antiviral properties. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of lysine. Just strategic, just amending our food, up-leveling our nutrition wherever we are. Carnitine, now this is acetylcarnitine, so it's slightly sour. It's kind of tastes like a vitamin C powder. Carnitine is really great for your cells. It just boosts the metabolism of how your body processes fats and nutrients, and how those go from your brain and throughout your heart. I mean, it's just a really special amino acid that is definitely important to consider taking from time to time. We'll just put about a teaspoon and a half in here. And citrulline. If you're a bodybuilder or athlete and you like to take arginine that I just mentioned to boost your nitric oxide, to get your blood flow going, to get your muscles boosted, well, but you don't want that viral factor, well, then citrulline is your option. Citrulline basically has all the benefits of arginine without being arginine itself. A lot of people who are into the whole boosting blood flow, amino acid supplementing, are turning away from arginine and turning to citrulline these days. And we'll just put a teaspoon of that in here. When you combine your amino acids with food in a really balanced way, then amino acids feel good in your stomach. If I did like the lysine, like by itself, it feels gaggy, but combined, it feels really, really good. And olive oil. We'll put a good cup of olive oil, at least a cup. You want this onion bread to just hit the spot. I'm going to blend this up. I just taste tested it. It's so good. Alright, we're going to pour this in with our onion. The chia seeds are mucilaginous, and they'll hold our bread together as it's dehydrating. They are about as mucilaginous as flax seeds. They have a similar omega-3 profile as flax seeds, but are considered more in the androgenic category, whereas flax seeds are considered more in the phytoestrogenic category. And it's always good to consume more androgenic foods, since most of us have consumed a lot of phytoestrogenic foods. A lot of nuts and seeds can be have naturally occurring phytoestrogens. And when you combine that with being exposed to xenoestrogens our whole life, xenoestrogens are plastic compounds, petroleum compounds that mimic bad estrogens. They basically go into your body, clog up your liver, and mess up your hormones. They're endocrine disruptors. BPA, that's in canned food and certain plastics, is one of the biggest xenoestrogens around. So in order to curb that, in order to have a strategy that remedies that, we need to add in androgens. Androgens are not necessarily progesterone or testosterone, but they help your body produce more of what it needs depending on your gender, so that let's say you have too much xenoestrogens and bad estrogens in your body. By consuming androgenic substances, you are either directly or indirectly boosting your testosterone, especially if you're a male, and boosting your progesterone if you're a woman. So chia seeds are a slightly mild androgen, especially compared with flax seeds. A lot of us maybe have consumed flax oil or flax seeds daily for months on end. I know I did that years ago, and as soon as I found out about chia, I switched over. I don't even consume chia that often these days, but I always prefer it. I even prefer the flavor of chia over flax most of the time. But I'll still do some flax too, just not every day. Alright, so we mix this up. Now we're going to add 2 oceanic slash sea slash lake slash water type compounds of bliss, starting with longevity spirulina. Yep, that's going into this. We're creating a green, protein, cheesy bread. Everybody loves cheesy bread. I put at least a 1/4 cup in here. You can play around with the amounts. And I'm going to put some sea palm. You can put any kind of seaweed in here. But I'm putting one of my favorites, sea palm. They're nice and crunchy. If you enjoy seaweed a lot, but you're kind of doing like kelp and dulse like only all the time, try this one, sea palm. There it is. That's the bread. I'm going to pour this into a different variety of shapes, pizza crust shapes, square breads, long flat baguettes, little tortillas, all over dehydrator sheets. Stick those into the dehydrator. It's around noon right now, so I'm going to definitely have some of this for dinner tonight. It'll be kind of a soft bread, and then by tomorrow night, it'll be real crispy bread, and then the crispy bread will last longer if you don't eat it right away. Oh yeah. Therapeutically nutritious green onion bread. Mm-hmm.